Joining us right now to kick off hour number 2 of the program, could be the first defensive back taken in this year's draft. No doubt expecting to hear his name 1 week from tonight. Joining us from the Alabama Crimson Tide program, none other than Brian Branch here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Where have I found you? Where are you on planet Earth right now, Brian? Where are you?
Georgia, Fayetteville.
That's your hometown, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. How'd you play for Alabama then? How did that happen? What happened?
Just Georgia let me out, and they tried to recruit me late. So Alabama, once I feel like Coach Saban called, it was wraps.
So what do you mean they tried to recruit you late, Brian? What happened?
They tried to recruit me like after Alabama, came.
Mm-hmm.
Alabama was like one of my latest offers, and they came, and Georgia tried to come even later after them. So
too late. If you the phrase "if you snooze, you lose"
yes,
applies. Okay. And when you said Saban called you, what do you mean? Walk me through that conversation, Brian.
Just the fact that I feel like when Saban calls, you gotta go, and just meaning of when I went on a visit to Alabama, I talked with him, and he told me what I could do, to reach the best version of myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that nobody else would teach me the stuff that he taught me if I went to Alabama, and he was a great mentor and great coach. So,
did you go in his office? You sit in his office?
Yes, sir.
What's his office looking like?
Huge. You got rings everywhere. Rings everywhere. Comfortable couch.
Okay. I mean, that's a heck of a combination. Rings everywhere, comfortable couch. So he's flexing, is basically what you're saying with his office situation. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. And then now let's flip the page to playing for him. What was that like, playing for Nick Saban, Brian?
At first, it took a little bit of adjustment to it. He gonna get on to you, and he does that. When guys come in their freshman year, he does that just to see how they react, how they gonna handle themselves. Can they persevere? And it's like tough love almost.
Mm-hmm.
And my first year, he was getting on to me every day. I mean, I can come out there for warm-ups, and he'll start yelling at me. And he does that just to see what type of player you are. And, it helped me out in the long run, I feel like. And, he's just an overall great coach. He taught me a lot of stuff, the little details. He's just a great coach, great overall coach.
So, did you know at the time, Brian, you were being tested, or did somebody have to take you aside and let you know this is what he's doing?
Somebody had to take me aside. I remember Coach Scott and Coach Kelly at the time, took me to the side and told me, if he ain't getting on to you, then you should be worried. But if he getting on to you, then he love you.
Huh. Interesting. And then so at first it confused you or perhaps threw you off a little bit. And then at the end of your tenure there in Alabama, you realized what you had gained from it. Is that an appropriate way of putting it then?
Sure. That's correct.
Okay. Then I will ask you, and to button up this part of our conversation, Brian Branch, the same question I have asked I believe to every Alabama prospect we've had on this program in the history of this show, and it's been on there for 8 years. Right, Chris Brockman?
That's correct.
Okay.
That is correct.
Here, I've asked it of Tua, of Mac Jones, name it on and so on and forth. I think I asked this of Bryce Young last year. So I'll ask you, what's the most angry you've ever made Nick Saban then? What's the most pissed off you've ever made, Coach?
Oof. I would say it was my freshman year.
Mm-hmm.
I had got beat, and I was mad at myself, and I threw my helmet, and oh my God! As soon as that helmet hit the floor, Rich, he starts running over to me. He throws his hat. He's hot. I'm hot because I just got beat, and he's over there hot at me for even showing defeat. And he's he's hot, and he just started yelling, like, telling me get back to the play, just going off on me, and I think that's the most pissed I ever made him.
Is it because you threw your helmet, not because you were beat? It's because of the way you reacted to getting beat? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
And when his hat, was it one of those Panama hats, or it was a visor, or what was it? What was one of the famed Saban hats?
One of his famous hats that he always wears.
Wow.
Straw hat.
Man, okay. So then there were no Bofa jokes that day from him, is what you're saying?
Oh, no, sir.
Have you ever been on the business end of one of the Bofa jokes from Nick Saban, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay. Can confirm? Is that what you're saying? You can confirm that? You've done that?
Yeah.
You've been there? Okay. Well, then, hey, man, it started where he's getting on you. You don't know why he's getting on you, and it ends with you getting Bofa'd by him, and now you're going off to the NFL. So it all worked out for you, right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. So what will a team get in Brian Branch if they draft you 1 week from tonight, Brian?
Just the overall dog. I feel like a lot of people say they're going to come in there and work, but I feel like, I mean it. Like, I work, and they're going to get a workhorse. They're going to get, especially on the defense end, somebody who can play wherever the coaches need me. I feel like I can play, and they know I can play any position. And I just feel like they're going to get an overall dog.
Who do you model your game after? I guess, who did you emulate growing up playing this position? This is a unique position to play, obviously, on a football field, Brian.
Tyrann Mathieu, Troy Polamalu, and growing up watching Minka, too. All three of them. Also Cam Chancellor. It was like four of them that who I really watched.
You named some good ones right there. I imagine Minka you've spoken to, right? I imagine there's a line of communication, a Crimson Tider line, or no?
To be honest, no, I haven't even spoke to him.
Okay. Have you ever met any of these guys then, Brian?
No.
Okay.
No, sir.
We got to work on that for you. All right.
Okay. That's my plan. I got to scratch it off my bucket list.
Okay. Maybe you meet him in Canton, Ohio about 15 years from now. What do you think about that idea?
Hey, that's the plan.
That's the plan.
Goal.
Who have you visited with? How many teams have you visited with, Brian?
I visited with 8 different teams for my 30 visits.
Can you rattle some off for me? Do you mind, please? Who have you visited with?
Just really from the, teams on the East.
Mm-hmm.
I visited to one West Coast team. Pretty much teams on the East.
Okay. So if you're being coy about it, one of the teams on the East has to be the Patriots, right, Brian?
No, I didn't visit with them.
Oh, okay. All right. That one kind of surprised me. What about Pittsburgh? Did you visit with Pittsburgh?
No, sir. I didn't visit with them.
All right. Jets? Did you visit with the Jets?
I visited with a New York team.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know if it could be Buffalo. Did you visit with Buffalo? Is that where you're going with? Don't worry about it. You're getting drafted in a week. Don't worry, Brian. This is fine.
Nah,
this is all
I
good.
ain't visit with Buffalo. I visit with the Giants.
There you go. All right. Very good. New York Giants. Okay, that's good. That's a good one. We checked that one off the list. All right. Very good. This is going to be exciting for you. Who are you going to Kansas City, Brian?
Yes, sir, I am.
Oh, man. How excited are you for that?
I'm very excited.
Who's going to be with you?
Just my immediate family.
Okay.
My mom, brothers, and sister.
Okay. Your mom. And what do you think your dream coming true in front of her eyes is going to mean to her, Brian?
It's gonna be big, She, all the sacrifice she made for me growing up, it wasn't for nothing. And just her watching me work these past few years, is huge, and it's going to the next level. And I know she's very ecstatic for me.
Yeah.
Just got to keep on proving her, making her happy.
Do you mind telling a story about what sort of sacrifice she did make for you, Brian?
Yeah. Just growing up, she raised all of us, like me and my 3 other siblings, by herself, and she would we all played sports, and just the fact that she couldn't do the stuff that she wanted to do because she had to pay for our sports. Like my football at the time was like $750 just to play football for rec league, and like she was mad, and sometimes she didn't know how she was gonna pay that the next year, and she always made it happen. And so just for her to do that, she's my hero.
What's her name?
Sharon Branch.
Okay, so Sharon's going to be there. This is going to be big. Do you have your fit picked out? We all set on that front?
Yes, sir. I got that picked out.
You want to give me a little bit of detail on that?
Just a double-breasted suit.
Okay.
Yeah, double-breasted.
Okay. All right, very good. Very good. So you got this whole thing picked out. I'm excited for you. Good luck to you. This will be hopefully the first of many times you come on this show, and I appreciate you sharing as much as you did.
Oh, yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
And I loved both of your stories about Nick Saban. Brian?
Got to tell us a joke.
We need one of the jokes.
Tell us a joke, Brian. What do we got?
You got a good joke?
Yeah.
What do you
I remember it was after a play. I was limping. You know, I think I hurt. I think I hurt my ankle a little bit, and I started limping. And then I limping to the sideline, and I look up behind me, and Coach Saban followed me and limping. He limping, trying to mock me, trying to mimic me. And when he gets close to me, he asked me, "So do you need a tampon or something?"
Oh, no. Oh, my gosh. Brian Branch, you are crazy. Did he do both a joke with you, or he did not?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh. Hey, Brian, you be well at the draft, okay? You have a great night, all right, brother?
Yes, sir.
We'll see you soon. That's Brian Branch, everybody, right here on The Rich Eisen Show. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Branch. And now, Chris Brockman, you have now learned firsthand. Ask questions you only know the answer to.
Yeah, but that worked out way better for us.
Yeah, it worked out better for us. How'd that work out for Tiger a few weeks ago? Not so great. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.